Just a quick tie-in. Hey, what's going on? Peace and blessings, right? Just a quick tie-in. Now, you remember in Deuteronomy 7:11, when God said, Moses, you will not enter into the promised land. After all his obedience and everything that he was doing, as God had commanded in Deuteronomy. Now, that's Deuteronomy 7:11 when God tells him that. In Deuteronomy 3, I believe it's 3:25. In Deuteronomy 3:25, God commands him to speak to the rock so that it can bring forth water. Out of anger, because of the people's murmuring and complaining, Moses didn't speak to it. He struck it twice. So not only was that a direct disobedience to what God had told him to do, he also took kind of like the credit and took away from faith, from striking it twice, opposed to speaking to the rock, and the people seeing the manifestation of the miracle of God moving amongst them still. But check it out, though. The law was not bad. The law was a tutor. It brought structure. It brought order. The world was in chaos. And God was making a distinction between his people and the surrounding nations to say, yo, these is mine. And with that, we see that Moses, he represents the law. But in that law, it was weakness. The law can identify sin, but it wasn't strong enough to deliver or heal from sin. So basically, it still needed to be a bloodshed. It needed to be a sacrifice. And the sacrifice, according to whatever sin it would be a bloodshed for the remission or the forgiveness of sins. So now we see that the law wasn't bad, it was good. But Jesus says that, I didn't come to do away with the law. I came to fulfill it. Where it was weak at, I came to fulfill that and strengthen that. So now we see that Christ steps on the scene, and we see Gethsemane, we see the crucifixion, the cross, the death, the resurrection, the burial, the ascension, and everything, resurrection. And now we see the birth of grace. The birth of grace and salvation through faith in Christ. And Moses couldn't enter in, because check this out, the law could only go but so far. Grace had to step in for salvation so that everybody can have a shot at it. So Joshua was the one that came in. What Joshua's name mean? Yahshua. So we see that all of that took place until it gets to the birth of Christ and everything else that takes place. But the law can only go but so far, and it needs to be the second birth, which was the birthing of grace. And that we can receive that by faith in Christ Jesus. I hope that makes sense. One love, one life, up one. Stay